A pleasant day, STEM learners. This is Sir Peter, your basic calculus teacher. So we are now on our second to the last topic on basic calculus, which is lesson 3.6, which will talk about definite integrals. So here are the objectives of this lesson. So at the end of the video lesson, you should be able to illustrate the definite integral as the limit of the Riemann sum. So this is a new term with you. So Riemann is actually a mathematician who actually developed the process of integration as part of an area of a plane. So on our next lesson, we will be learning about more of the applications of this Riemann sum. Number 2, we illustrate the fundamental theorem of calculus. And we will compute definite integral of the function using the fundamental theorem of calculus, that is actually subtracting the values of b minus the values of a. And lastly, we will compute the definite integral of a function using substitution rule. Let's proceed now to the definition of definite integrals. So what are definite integrals? So the term definite integral came from the limit of the Riemann sum. So many authors also refer to it as the Riemann's integral. It is actually the difference between the values of the integral of the given function f of x. So take a look at this one. The upper value is b and the lower value is a. So that's just subtracting b minus a. To better understand the definition of definite integrals, it's actually related to this concept, or this what we call the fundamental theorem of calculus. So this theorem is also known as the theory of Riemann's integration. So they're just the same. This theory came from the Riemann sum. So the fundamental theorem of calculus states that if the function is continuous on the closed interval a and b, and the antiderivative, which is capital F of x, is an antiderivative of the original function f of x between a and b, then it can be written as the integral from a to b. So these are the boundaries. F of x dx is equal to this is the fundamental theorem. We subtract the function of b minus the function of a. Or in short, we get the antiderivative values minus the lower values. So when we apply this one, you'll better understand the fundamental theorem of calculus. Let's proceed now to the basic integration rules for definite integrals. So from the word itself, we say they are definite because we are not assigning anymore a value for c because it's not definite. When you say indefinite, it means they are not definite. So there is a value of constant. So all the answers are just general antiderivatives. But when they are specific, because of the boundaries that we set, then they become definite integrals. Okay, I hope you understand that definition. Let's have this rule. So say, for example, you are given, so usually your b should always be greater than a. Always remember that because b is the upper limit while a is the lower limit. So in case that if you have 1 and 3, or whatever function you have. So there is something wrong about this function because it should be an integral from 1 to 3, not 3 to 1. So instead of so to fix this one, you simply put a negative sign and then you will still have the original function f of x dx. So this is just what happens. You simply make it a negative, and then you can now interchange the upper and the lower values. The same applies when it is negative, okay? So don't get confused. Like say, for example, if you have -1 to -5, so this is not correct, right? So to make it correct, we make it the negative of the integral, this should always be the larger number, your b value. For number 2, the integral from a to a f of x dx is always 0. So for as long as they are the same, like say for example, the integral from -2 to 2, the answer will whatever the function is, the answer will always be 0. Number 3, so you still have b minus a. This is the Riemann or the fundamental theorem of calculus. The c value. Now this is the sum and difference theorem. Okay, so if this plus, then that becomes plus. And if this is minus, then this should be minus. Number 5, it seems to be like the constant multiple theorem. The c value always comes in front of the integral sign. For number 6, definite integral of an even function. So an example of an even function is like an x to the 4th minus 3x squared. So notice that the exponents of the given function are even. So it is considered an even function. And if you have a value like 7, then the upper boundary, and then the lower limit is -7. So in this case, this is an even function. So you simply get twice, okay, from 0 to 7. So the value of the function changes. The limit becomes 0 to 7 instead of 7 to -7. So why do we have to make it 2? Because we get twice of that function. Because there is the same distance from -7 to 0 and from 0 to 7. So you just simply get it twice. So this is only applicable for even function. Now, what about if you have, like, say, for example, the integral from -3 to 3. And then your function is an odd function. Like, say, for example, x to the 5th plus 4 x cubed plus x. So all of these are odd functions. So whenever it is an odd function, the answer is always 0. So no need to think about it. Let's have illustrative examples. Let's evaluate the following definite integrals. So let's have the integral from 1 to 2, 6x dx. So notice that we apply basic integration rules. So we have 6 integral of x dx. Then it becomes 6 x squared over 2. So no need to put your c, and we'll have 3x squared. So we don't need this part of the solution because we assume that we already know. So the first line should be 3x squared. And then we apply the fundamental theorem of calculus, the f of b minus f of a. It's the upper values minus the lower values. So it becomes 3 times 2 squared. That's the upper value. Minus 3 times 1 squared. And so using your calculator, the answer will be 12 minus 3. So the final answer becomes 9. So this part of the solution is not needed anymore. And this one. So what I only need is this solution. Okay. So we right away go into the antiderivative and then substitute your b minus a. Do not forget that. And then simplify and then final answer. So that's how the flow of the solution is. Next, let's have the integral from 2 to 3, 9x squared minus 8x dx. So in this example, how did we arrive at 3x cubed minus 4x squared? Let us show. We have 9 integral of x squared dx minus 8 integral of x dx. So that becomes now 9x cubed over 3 minus 8x squared over 4. Simplifying, you'll have 3x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay? Sorry, it's over 2, right? So that becomes 4x squared. And then that becomes similar to that. Sorry for that, I stand corrected. So that is 8x squared over 2. So that it becomes negative 4x squared. But again, we do not need this part of the solution. All we need to have is this solution. Then for the second line, we substitute now the upper value. We have 3 times 3 cubed minus 4 cubed squared minus the lower boundary. It's 2. Using your scientific calculator, the answer will be 45 minus 8. It's for the lower values. And then the final answer becomes 37. So that's how easy it is. Next. Let's have the integral from negative 1 to 2. And then we have a FOIL method that we have to perform here. So we have 4x squared, negative 7x. Then we have positive 12x, and negative 21. Then we combine 4x squared plus 5x minus 21. So we get the integral of this one. So that becomes 4x cubed. Oh. Sorry, so that becomes 4x cubed. Wait for a while. 4x cubed over 3 plus 5x squared over 2 minus 21x. Then we now replace the upper boundary 2. Then minus negative 1. So it's up to you now. You have to apply the calculator technique by substituting these values. So the answer is negative 64 over 3. Then substitute these values. So that is negative 133 minus 133 over 6. And then you subtract. The answer becomes negative 87 over 2. So that's just how simple it is. Let's have the next one. So I think there is something wrong about this problem. Look at that one. It is the integral from 3 to 1. So it's impossible to have a 3 to 1. So to do that, to fix this one, let's integrate this first. So we have 4x cubed over 3 plus 7x squared over 2 minus 5x. And then we we make it a negative sign because we wanted to have the integral from the integral from 3 to 1 of the function f of x dx. So to do that, we make this one negative. So this negative 4x cubed over 3. We change the sign. Minus 7x squared over 2 plus 5x. So that becomes this one. Then we can now replace. Allow me to erase first. So that becomes 3 minus 1. Instead, 1 minus 3. So we have 3 minus 1 because we already have inverted the sign. So the answer becomes negative 105 over 2 minus 1 over 6. Let's have item number 5. So the integral from 2 to 2. So this is very obvious. The answer is 0, right? because of this rule. Okay, whenever A are the same, the answer is always 0. So I no need to elaborate that one. Number 6, the integral from -2 to -1 for x minus 2 squared. So we have to square this first. So we have 16x squared minus twice the product of the first and the second term. So that's 16x plus 4. And then we integrate dx. 16x cubed over 3 minus 16x squared over 3 minus, that's over 3 minus, this is 3, okay, minus 8x squared plus 4x. Okay, so that's the same. Next, we now apply the fundamental theorem of calculus, f of b, so that we substitute -1, then minus f of a, which is we substitute -2. Then using your calculators, the answer should be -52 over 3. And then use the calculators here. So the answer becomes -248 over 3. So when we subtract, that becomes now 196 over 3. So I hope you understand. For number 7, look at this one. You have 2x squared minus 3x raised to 1 half. So when we get the integral, we'll have 2x cubed over 3 minus 3x raised. What is 1 half plus 1? So that's 3 halves over 3 halves. Then this will be cancelled. So that becomes 2x cubed over 3 minus 2x raised to 3 halves. Then we further simplify. Okay, after we integrate, we have 2x cubed over 3 minus 2, the square root of x cubed. But this has a perfect square. So we'll rewrite it as 2x cubed over 3. So it's not writing here. So it's right here. 2x cubed over 3 minus 2x, the square root of x. So this is the answer. Okay? Same. But we don't need this part of the solution. Again, what we only need is this answer. Next, we replace now by fundamental theorem of calculus. We have the values of b, which is 4, minus the values of a, which is 1. Substituting the values and applying that one using the calculator method, we will get 80 over 3 minus -4 over 3. And the final answer will be 28. So all you need to do, all the rest of the computations will be part of your calculator method. Proceed now to the next example. So you have to try all of these examples at home for more practice. Now let's proceed to this item number 11. So observe that this is an even function because of 4, the presence of to the 4th and squared. And observe that we follow this pattern, -a to a, right? So it is under this one. So again, we simply get twice of that, and then we change the boundaries from 0 to a instead of -a to a. So first, we get the integral of this one. This is x to the 5th over 5 plus 2x cubed over 3 minus x. Then we get double since we are required to get double of it. So we have 2x to the 5th over 5 plus 4x cubed over 3 minus 2x. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, 2x to the fifth over 5 plus 4x cubed over 3 minus 2x. Next, we substitute the upper boundary, which is 2, and then the lower boundary becomes 0, right? Based from this one, based from this notation. So that's minus 0. So everything will be cancelled. So we'll just try to evaluate this one. So the answer is 292 over 15. So you just try using your calculator, okay, at home. Next, number 12, this is the same. This is an odd function. An even function. Look at that one. Look at the exponents. So they are even. Still apply the same rule. So we get the integral. So we have 6x cubed over 3 minus 5x to the fourth over 5. Simplify, so it becomes 2x cubed minus, it's x to the fifth. Cancel, so x to the fifth. Is this your answer? 4x. So is it 4x cubed minus 2x squared? So we need to get double of it. Don't forget that. So that we'll have 4x cubed minus 2x to the, so that they will become the same. Anyway, we don't need this part of the solution, only this one. For the next line, we will apply the fundamental theorem of calculus. So we will replace 1 minus 0. So everything here will be 0. So the answer becomes 2. For item 13, look at this one. This is an odd function. And the answer for odd function, whenever we have the integral from negative a to a, is always 0. So no need to solve. Just copy and then equals 0. That's the answer already. For item 14, the same rule. You have to write first the given and then the answer becomes 0. Remember that this is an odd function because of the exponents. 1, okay. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, for item 15, this is quite different because this is an application of need to integrate first 6x minus 5 cubed times 2 dx. But we can just integrate this one by u substitution. So if we let u as 6x minus 5, then our derivative of u is 6dx, right? But we do not need a 6dx. What I need is 2dx. So what do we need to do? What we're going to do here is to multiply. Okay, let's multiply an integrating factor so that it becomes 2. So do you agree that we will multiply 1 over 3? So that when we cancel, this becomes 2dx. And this becomes 1/3 du. So after that, we can now integrate by 1/3. Integral of u du. I mean u cubed du. You can put it here, 1/3. U to the fourth over 4. Then multiplying, you'll have u to the fourth over 12. So that becomes, we replace again u by x. So 6x minus 5 to the fourth over 12. So you see, this is the answer. It's the quantity 6x minus 5 to the fourth over 12. Just like that. So we don't need this solution, but what we need is this solution only. Next, we will apply fundamental theorem of calculus. So we have 3 minus 2. And so the answer becomes this one. Then on the lower boundary, we have this one. Then simplify using your cycle. The answer is negative 4,580. For item 16, say plus 4x minus 14. And our du is 6x plus 4 dx. But take note of this one. We do not need 3x plus 2. So what we're going to do here is to multiply 1 half, right? So we'll get 1 half du. So 1 half of 6x is 3x plus 2 dx. So we need an integrating factor 1 half integral of u to the fourth, then du. So that becomes 1 half times u to the fifth over 5. Then it becomes u to the fifth. Sorry, we write it here. U to the fifth over 10. So this is now, it becomes like that, right? That's 3x squared plus 4x minus 14 to the fifth over 10. So this is the reason why we have that solution. But again, we do not need this part. What I need is this part only. Okay? So let's continue. So I'll erase this first, so that when we continue, we will subtract. Okay? Then the answer becomes these values. So try to check using your scientific calculator how to obtain this answer. Okay? And to get the final answer, that's 1,030,344.9. So, can you try this one? Actually, look at number 19. This is 0 already because of these boundaries. So, but these are solvable using, all of these three are solvable using substitution rules. So, you have to review substitution, okay? That's in one of the topics. So, you have to recall how to get the integrals using substitution. So, we're done. Simple reminders. For our next topic, we will talk about 3.7, our last topic, the application of definite integrals in the computation of plane areas. So I hope you find this video lesson very helpful. So see you again. Again, this is Sir Peter, your basic calc